Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to the open book again. Okay. I did a live this morning. Y'all, if you did not catch that live, make sure you watch the replay later because some of it goes with some things that we're going to discuss on this live. But welcome, 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 everyone. Please make sure you hit the like button on your way in. I would greatly appreciate that. It just lets everyone know that we are live. Let's see who we have here. Hey, Aries. Hey, sis. Good morning. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Good morning again. Let's say, right. Okay. Good morning again. Humble me. Hi. Thank y'all for hanging out with me on this morning. Um, I told you I wanted to come back because I wanted to get a little deeper into our conversation that we had this morning and kind of show some video because it's better when things come from that person's mouth instead of like hearsay or, just hearing it from someone else. Because some things get lost in translation. So I didn't want to be guilty of that. So I wanted y'all to hear from that person's mouth the things that were said. This live is for educational and entertainment purposes only and is covered under the Fair Use Act. Information shared is alleged in our opinions as we react to various topics and people. Let me do one quick thing. Okay. Okay. Thank you for your patience. Okay, so we were talking about this morning the different changes concerning the DEI initiatives, and I want to kind of give a little background on that first, because some people, even my husband, he was like, "What's DEI?" Okay, so several U.S. companies began kind of scaling back or changing their diversity, equity, and inclusion. That's what DEI stands for. Initiatives in recent months. Okay, for some businesses, the rollback on the DEI policies were tied to the U.S. Supreme Court's decision in June of 2023, which ended affirmative action in college admissions. So other companies have received pushback from some conservative customers, both in person and online. Now, these programs and initiatives are created to promote fair treatment and full participation of all individuals. Okay, keyword all individuals, particularly those from historically underrepresented or marginalized groups of people. These initiatives build upon the action taken by former President Lyndon B. Johnson when he issued an executive order 11246 in 1965, which required government contractors to take affirmative action to ensure that applicants are employed and employees are treated fairly during employment without regard to their race, creed, color, or national origin. So a lot of these companies, y'all, had started incorporating different incentives for various groups of people, like those underrepresented groups, like for women, for blacks, and so forth. And so recently, let's see, some people are coming in. Hey, PM, welcome. Thank you for joining. Good morning, you artsy witch. Welcome. Some companies, y'all, have recently started scaling back on their DEI initiatives. And I'll kind of name some of them. So the Meta platforms, which is the parent company of Facebook and Instagram, they announced that they were getting rid of certain DEI programs earlier this month. Okay. McDonald's. Okay. They had rolled out their diversity initiatives in 2021. Okay. And they're discontinuing specific diversity goals and rebranding its diversity teams. Okay. Walmart. Now, this is the nation's largest retailer. Okay. They also rolled back its diversity, equity, and inclusion policies earlier last year. Okay. And they employ 1.6 million workers in the U.S. Amazon. Okay. They're altering their approach to DEI in an internal announcement that was made. American Airlines, Starbucks. Starbucks. Y'all know. Y'all stop and get that Starbucks on the way to work. Tractor Supply Company, John Deere, Lowe's. Okay. A lot of people go to Lowe's when they need to get some things fixed in the home improvement, and so forth. And so those are just a few of the companies who have recently announced that they are scaling back on their DEI initiatives. Hi, Jamie girl. Welcome, sis. Thank you so much for joining. Good morning, Antoine. Thank you for joining and welcome. Hi, Nita. Thank you for joining today. Yes. Okay. Yeah. She said, wait. Yes, Starbucks is on that list as well. Okay. Uh, it's too much. It's too much. And so with that, Target is also now. Target was not originally on that list, so more companies have been added to that list. Latte said their masks are coming off. I don't drink Starbucks. The overpriced coffee is a hell no for me. Right? You know what, y'all? Let me just say this, and I said this earlier. Some of these companies, it's not. It won't be an issue for me because I don't shop there anyway. I don't shop there anyways. Starbucks, now I like the banana nut bread, okay? But what I found is I also like the coffee better at QT, okay? Which is the gas station. So I don't even drink coffee just a whole lot. But when I do, if I'm going to work, something like that sometimes, I like it from QT. So I don't have to go to Starbucks. Y'all can, keep that banana nut bread. Probably don't need it anyways. But that's all I was going there for anyways. Okay. McDonald's, we quit eating there years ago. Now, every once in a while, my son wants a Happy Meal, but I think he even realized it's not good for him and was affecting his stomach. So he pulled back from McDonald's last year towards the end. Okay. Hi, Kathleen. Good morning. Antoine said, I love QT as well. Exactly. And Antoine, they have gotten to the habit now. They have a whole new setup. I don't know if y'all have gone, well, the ones here in Texas, I know they have the whole like board. It's like a digital board. You can get frappes. You can make like different stuff. So I don't know. QT must have got a little heads up that things were about to change. Okay, for some companies. I get gift cards at holidays for Starbucks every time I go. Right, Nita? Okay, now we'll go there with a gift card. Hey, Miss Jimmy Jim. Yes, sis, I am back again. Okay, so you're in ATL. All right, shout out to ATL. Welcome. And I appreciate you stopping in this morning and joining us. And so y'all know Tabitha Brown, okay? A lot of us know her. She has written a lot of books and she has her own show, okay, kid show on YouTube. She has her own clothing line, hair care product, food line. I mean, all kinds of spice line and so forth. So she has a lot of different products. And it's like when Tabitha discussed pretty much how she got, known or founded, where it was just a rare instance when I think she was doing Uber or something, and she had a sandwich from Whole Foods, and she did a short video in her car, and that video went viral. Okay, and lo and behold, it was an open door for her to get into some places, and then it just grew from there. God really showed her favor, with her businesses. And so with this, Latte said, nope, even with the gift card, I ain't going. $2 cappuccino at my local gas station does wonders for me. Okay, right. Kathleen said, if you love your coffee like I do, buy your coffee now. Tariffs put in place will make coffee skyrocket. Exactly. And you know what? Shout out to everyone that has made a contribution to my coffee. I did reach the goal. Someone, a great friend of mine, I don't know if she wants me to call her name, but she even reached out to me yesterday and was like, how much more do you need towards your goal? Because I wanted to get me the Keurig machine and the little Turner holder, whatever they call it, that holds the little coffees. Yeah, I didn't even know how to work the Keurig up until probably 2 years ago. Okay, so I was like, this thing is blessing me. I remember the old school coffee when you would let the water, the little thing beat on the stove. You put it in a little kettle, and then you put your coffee. See, my grandparents, they raised us like that. So this little thing is so convenient when I started seeing it and how easy it is. And so I did reach my goal. I am going to order that this week. So thank you all so much. Y'all make this a wonderful birthday month. I have been spoiled. I don't know what to do. I'm truly grateful. I have a few stuff. Girl, go on and use the ones you got because, I can't boycott Amazon too long because they send out my books. Okay. Okay. I may have to bite the dust with Amazon. I was like, I told my husband, I said, well, I can't really boycott Amazon because when people, want to order my book, but now, okay, I'm almost in a Tabitha Brown situation. That's where they can place an order. I was like, Nita said, seen her video about the DI, really sad situation to be in, depending on circumstances. Right, exactly. Okay. Thank you, Kathleen. I appreciate that. And thank you for your support. Yeah, instant coffee. Yes, that's what I grew up in. Okay, thank you so much. So we're gonna get right. Okay. I think Amazon, if people say they're giving up on Amazon, I think a lot of people lying. Now, some people probably will give up on McDonald's. I don't even think people would boycott Starbucks because that's like a drug to some people. Y'all know. Hi, Bernice. Welcome. Y'all know. So some people are going to be lying. Thank you, Dreamy Girl, if they tell y'all that they're giving up Amazon and Starbucks. Okay, we already know those two probably will be off limits. That's a shame. We compromising, okay? Yeah, see, you addicted to Amazon too. Okay, so some people will probably lie if they tell us that we're boycotting Amazon. Okay, I don't think so. I don't think so because y'all done already paid for the Prime membership. And yeah, you're going to get your products within a day. And so I'm going to show y'all a short video that Tabitha Brown did because it is now getting to a point, since a lot of people are saying that they're boycotting Target, Walmart, Amazon, some of these companies, it will have an effect on her products. Okay, because her products are sold in these companies. And so people reached out to her to see, get her thoughts on the situation. And so I'm going to show us pretty much a video from her first, okay?
A tough week, right? And baby, it's been a tough 2025 and we are still in January. But I know many of you are asking and have asked and sent me messages about the recent DEI announcements at Target as well. And as disheartening as it is for me, I'm not the only one affected by this, right? It's for everyone who is a woman-owned business, minority-owned businesses, Black-owned businesses. It's for so many of us who work so very hard to be placed into retail, to finally be seen, and approved for retail. Because contrary to whatever the world might tell you, it has been very hard for Black-owned businesses to hit shelves, right? Which is why it's such a big deal when we do finally land inside of retail. So it is definitely heartbreaking to feel unsupported, right?
Welcome, stay hydrated. Stay hydrated already coming. Oh my goodness. You said girl vibe. Now I want you okay, so I'm gonna reserve certain things I'm gonna say, but I'm gonna try to go with and pause on certain parts. When she says that and welcome stay hydrated, when she says that it's good to finally be seen or to finally get your products on the shelf. Yes, that is celebratory because it does take a long time sometimes to get there, but hi Terry, welcome. Thank you so much for putting that disclaimer in the chat. I went over it earlier, but this is a reminder that this is for fair use for educational entertainment purposes only. um, we can't get to the point though sometimes that because we finally have a seat at the table, we finally have an open door, we finally have our products on the shelves, that we ignore some other things, okay? um because it can give the wrong message. It's almost like, man, it took me forever to get here. Now that I'm here, you know, uh, I don't want to, do anything to contradict this. Like it won't be another door. Like we were saying earlier, not to get too deep into it, but if God opened that door, He can open another door and even use sometimes these types of situations to put you in a better position. Okay. And so the process may have taken a long time to get there, but with God, things can change within the snap of a finger. And like I was saying earlier, Tabitha Brown, it seems like she skyrocketed. When it's your season, it's your season. It didn't take a long time for her as far as one product. She had this. If y'all remember, it was like, okay, she had the I think the book came out. Then she was able to do her food. Every time the clothing, it sold out. Everything sold out. Everything sold out. Every time something came out. So she has built a great name for herself. She did play on The Shy to get more acting roles and pop. Yes, okay. She did play on The Shy. That's true. I forgot about that. Right, Miss Lisa said, see, I knew y'all were gonna be telling a little story or fib if y'all said y'all were boycotting Amazon. Okay, what did Terry say? Boycotting is not going to work for this moment. And to tell you the truth, most of the migrants who entered our homeland never represented us in any way. That's not our fight. Okay. Okay. Thanks for sharing that, Terry. All right. I make my own cafe. It's just as good as Starbucks. Right. Okay. She's supporting her husband. Right. Amen. Yes, I'm telling you. And so we have to be careful on getting to a place. We don't want to settle, and we want to keep our morals, integrity, and our beliefs. Okay. I do remember her even sharing that somebody that she was trying to do a business deal with wanted her to change how she talked and acted. And I love the fact that she said no. She told them that she wasn't changing who she was. So yes, I do agree with that. And that was just one thing that stood out to me. We can't get too complacent because I'm finally being seen or the door was finally open. Yes, just because this door was open, God can open another door as well.
Ever.
Hi, Mrs. X.
I am in business in multiple ways, with Target, with Walmart, um, and Amazon, right? I sell Donna's Recipe, my hair care products, right, are on Amazon. They're also uh, in Target. And of course, I have a huge partnership uh, with Target. I sell my seasonings at Walmart. I do business all over, just like many other people. And what I can tell you is if we all decide to boycott and be like, no, we're not spending no money at these organizations, listen, I get it. And if that's how you feel, honey, I 1000% get it. But so many of us will be affected and our sales will drop, our business will be hurt. And if any of you know business,
Yes, I have to pause it. Yes, Miss Lisa, contracts will play a part. So I get that part for sure. So yes, of course you can't just say, okay, because this is going on, I'm about to cut this contract. So that is going to play a part, and I wish you would have said that too in this. Like, oh, and also y'all have a contract, because now that's understandable. You can't leave then because of that. Antoine said, I'm okay, confused. If these businesses were so quick to change their policy, then that was their hearts all along. Yes, I totally agree with that, because it was very, and you know what? Earlier, I even asked the question: was there an incentive to remove it? Like, why were y'all so fast to just say, "Oh, we're going to go ahead and do away with it too"? Okay, I'm curious. Yes, you made a very great point. Miss Jimmy Jim said, "I'm so interested in seeing how this DEI plays out." Me too. Me too. I'm curious too. I seen that lady that owns Michelle products remove her products off the shelves at Walmart. Which Michelle? Which Michelle, Miss Lisa? Well, we just started Mrs. X. So you know that the DEI initiatives were removed at some of the companies. And so Tabitha Brown, she sells a lot of her products at some of the stores. And so she did this video explaining, because people were asking her, where does she stand with this? And she's explaining to us. Can y'all hear me? Is my bubble moving? Testing, testing. Mrs. X says she has no sound. Don't tell me I'm up here just to talking and y'all can't hear me. Let's see. Let me type. Oh, okay. Woo, I got scared. Okay, somebody tell Mrs. X to go out and come back in. Because she can't hear us. She won't hear me. Please. Thank y'all so much. Lisa said, I'm good. Oh, okay. Y'all were talking to each other. Nita said, open, please explain what the DEI consists of for companies. Well, that's pretty much the, let me go back, diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives. So that means that they would have different type of incentives for hiring of Blacks, and trying to have, I know when I used to work at Chase, they would have diversity training on making it an inclusive environment for everyone. Now, I'm also thinking about education. Okay, I don't want to delve too much into it on this slide, but that is one of those words, the key words that you hear: equity for all students and so forth, where hey, I don't know what's about to happen now with that. Okay, thank you so much. I don't know what's about to happen. Okay, Mrs. X, go out and come back in. Thank you. Okay. Because yeah, it's supposed to, oh yeah, and going with that too, Nita. Earlier we were talking about with the U.S. Air Force, with the training, DEI training, diversity, and so forth, those equity and inclusion trainings, they incorporated videos that showed more about the Tuskegee Airmen, Air Force men, and then also women pilots. Well, now because they are scaling back on this, they are no longer going to show those videos during these trainings. But my thing is this: those people serve the country. It has nothing to do with color. Okay? They serve the country. So why not show and highlight these men? Right. It's another division. Okay, good, Mrs. X. Yeah, it can be another division. Yep, it's starting to look that way. We'll see. Okay, let's continue.
It doesn't just happen overnight where you can just go take all your stuff and pull it off the shelves. There's a process, and then you gotta, like, where you gonna put it? You gotta have a place to store it. That's money, right? You gotta have another place to sell it, which is almost impossible sometimes. And even if you sell online, it's a process when it comes to business. And everyone does not have the funds or the means or the availability, the space to house their own products, right? But the thing that concerns me the most, and I want you to hear me and hear me well, if we all decide to stop supporting said businesses, and say, I can't buy nothing from there. Even the businesses who were affected by the DEI ban, right? What that does is you take all our sales and they dwindle down. And then those companies get to say, oh, your products are not performing. And they can remove them from the shelves and then put their preferred businesses on the shelves. And then what happens to all the businesses who've worked so hard to get where they are? Then what happens, right? Now, I know that something that could solve it is ownership of these big corporations, right? It's a long way to go there. There are amazing companies like the Village Market in Atlanta, right, who support small businesses, and you can go in there and there's some amazing things that you can buy, but it's one store and it's very small. We're talking about mass market. You can't build that overnight. Do we all sometimes have these big dreams and aspirations to do that? Absolutely, right? But it is easier said than done, but it's not impossible. But until then, and in order to get there, we unfortunately have to play the game. And in playing that game, we got to be smarter than the ones who think they're in control, okay? And I say that to say, don't allow trying to be mindful with how I say this, because I want God to give me the right words, but don't allow foolishness to take us into separation and weed us out.
Okay, now I have to pause there for a second. I'm going to remove this because I'm going to show something that it reminded me of. Okay, my thing is, who should that part of the conversation be directed towards? The people who are buying or the people who are pushing to have the initiatives removed? I was a bit confused right there, because the foolishness, that conversation needs to be had on the other, the ones doing the initiative, making the laws and things, not with us. Okay. Mrs. X said, with the tariffs, American companies will begin to flourish. Many new programs and opportunities for the American business owners. Right. We just want to be all American business owners, Mrs. X. That's the part. Because let's also clarify something. Excuse me. Just because we are saying that we want more opportunities for Blacks and our opportunities to not go away and so forth, does not mean that we're against anyone else having opportunities. Sometimes that can be conflicted, where people are thinking that when we say we're doing this for Blacks or speaking up for Blacks, that we're speaking against others. It's not that. So I always want to clarify that. We just want it to be all, okay? All, everyone getting those opportunities, but it's appearing as though there's something happening where it's a lot of the equity is being removed first. Okay. Miss Lisa, okay. I'm curious. Oh, I want to know that too, Kathleen. Okay, I'm curious to know what she has to say to back to me. But y'all, I had to pause Tabitha for a second, because when I heard her say that, it reminded me of this scene from the 5 Heartbeats. Have y'all seen the 5 Heartbeats? It reminded me of this scene here on the 5 Heartbeats. I'm going to play that.
See Phil? See him anyway? Oh, here you come. All right. I hope you brought those checks. I want my boy's picture back on this album cover. It's too late. Yeah, we'll see about that. A lot of bull. Why do we have to cross over?
Wow. That scene of my apologies for the N word. I forgot that was in there. But it really reminded me of sometimes some of these things, the big picture, we're focusing on, oh, the sales, I don't want to lose my sales. But at what point, if things are already being removed, why is it that certain people have to compromise? Like these men in that movie, if y'all watched it, they were the whole voice behind everything. But their own faces could not be on the album cover because they were trying to appeal to a certain group. Okay. Let's see. Maybe, just maybe, this will bring back community programs, the letters that mattered. The community programs, like what? Give me an example. You said YMCA. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So that's what I was, when I was hearing her say that, and I get what she's saying because it is about her business. This is her money, okay? This is how she makes her money. But look at to me, what was the purpose of it? Like them removing that. And I think Antoine even mentioned it earlier about it happening so fast. It almost, when people turn to you so fast or something happens so fast, it makes me think, was that their intent from the get-go? You can always have, and I know contracts are there and things of that sort, but we can't get just so stuck that this is the only place that I can profit. Okay, why do we have to compromise all of the time? Why is it our programs and things, affirmative action taken? Why was affirmative action even put there? Like, we have to really go back and think about that. This is what our people went through. How do we forget our history? We cannot forget it. And we cannot allow, it won't happen. I don't care how people try to erase, you can't erase history. It's already happened. No matter how we try to cover it up, no matter how we try to put a Band-Aid over it, no matter how we try to take books, no matter how we stop trying to show the videos, you cannot take away what people fought so hard to get. Why go backwards? That's all we're saying. Why go backwards?
Do you understand? Because sometimes that's what they want. And in times like this, they're telling us that. Okay? So as frustrating as I listen, as frustrating as the whole situation is, as frustrated as I am, as all of you are, we still got to be smart. Now, you can still go into those stores if you choose to and buy specific brands that you want to support and let the other things, right?
I can see that too. Back to me. Yes, I can see that too.
Not get your money. But be very specific. There's so many women, right, that have worked hard to be a woman-owned business. Donna's Recipe is two women, me and Gina Wu is my business partner. We are self-funded. We're self-funded. And we are on shelves in limited doors at Target, right? Other companies, right? There's a Black History Month is coming right now, and all of these brands are about to be showcased, some of them for the first time. And of course, they would do something like this right now, but they still need their moment. They still need our support. Only if you feel like you can and are willing to. I ain't telling you what to do. I'm telling you what, as a business owner, what we still need until we can get to another place, right? And I don't know when that other place will be. I know for me, I'm under contract, and I'm gonna give it to you 100.
Okay,
I got another year. Then I make a decision. Okay, so many other businesses are just starting. They're just getting in. This is their big break to go to the next whatever phase of their business there may be. We have to have understanding and compassion for each other and not be in an emotional state, but also a smart state. Because if we start doing the I'm not shopping.
Yes, federal agencies, Miss Lisa, are not recognizing Black History Month, but we will definitely have Black History Month here at the Open Book. Okay. I mean, y'all, come on now. What was the point of that? So I just want everyone to see. Okay, you have to open your eyes and see what is taking place. It started with the inauguration being on Dr. MLK's day. That's where it started. Then here comes the DEI programs, initiatives, trainings are being scaled back in various companies. Now federal agencies will not recognize Black History Month. I'm just confused. No, and so back to that, what you just said, Ms. Lisa, guess what? Miss Tabitha, they're probably not going to showcase those businesses this year. Okay? They're probably not. No matter the tax bracket, it's all about survival of the fittest dog eat dog world. Wow. Yes. Okay. Buy American products. I have no problems with that. Yeah. There will be no more income taxes. What does that mean, Mrs. X? No more tax refunds? Yeah, that's where it started. Hey, entertainment you love. Welcome, sis. Y'all, oh my goodness. I've been to I think your channel twice since I've been covering the Peach videos and reacting to that. Oh, Lord, girl, you do a great job. But y'all, oh my goodness, I love her channel. She's very engaging, funny, and real talk. Shout out to Entertainment You Love. And I was actually going to see if you would like to be one of our special guests next month for Black History, because we are highlighting a variety of channels and authors. Baby, we're about to do it up. Okay. So we are definitely going to have to get together. I really enjoyed your live last night. And thank you for watching my video too. I'm getting so irritated with Miss Lisa. Miss Lisa, oh my goodness, you already went in. Okay. Nita said, let him pardons for his friends for capital, but worrying about immigration. Yes. Okay. It's a mess right now. Hi, Shelly. Good morning. Yeah, it's a mess. You're so welcome. Yes, I agree, Mrs. X. We must. Race doesn't matter when it's about survival. The first law of nature is self-preservation. Right. And back to me, I think, and I get it. Believe me, I get it because that's her business. Okay. That's how she makes her money. So she's going to think about herself first. And I get what she's saying. I really do. But we also, because she has a lot of followers. And what we don't want, all I'm saying is what we don't want to happen is because we get these opportunities that we settle. Okay. No, just like you selling my product and God has made a way, he can make a way at another place. Okay. Now, of course, I'm going to stay in this contract for right now. But hey, look. So she says she understands what we're talking about. Put it in the chat so I can. Okay. Aries, are you able to get Entertainment You Love her channel and drop it in the chat for me? Thank you, Nita. Okay. And put your email in the chat so I can email you. Thank you. All right, let's continue. We're almost done with this one.
There. And it's our businesses that are in there. That's their way that they will clean us out and replace us and say, well, your business is not performing. That's what people want. We can't give them what they want. Okay? I hope that this is making sense for somebody. And I know it's a long video, and I know somebody might not listen to the whole thing. But this is the truth. So I want to say right now, I thank you for supporting me for the last 5 years. I have worked with Target, with Walmart, with all the places that you have shopped for my products. I thank you for showing up for me. I thank you for supporting me. When you did, I thank you for showing out for me. And if you choose not to anymore, I understand that. And I still thank you and I'm grateful. But if you've heard anything that I've said today, if you still choose to show up for me, I thank you. But also showing up for others. We in it together. Okay? But either way, be clear. I understand. All right? But remember this, if you don't remember nothing else, let's not give them what they want. Okay? Don't let them take us off of shelves. Don't let them erase us. Numbers don't lie. We're needed. Our money is the dollar that really, really counts. Okay? Y'all gonna about y'all business. Know that I love you and have the most amazing day. But even if you can't have a good one, don't you dare go messing up nobody else's. I'll talk to y'all later.
Okay, and thank you, Miss Lisa, for the super sticker. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Yes, I have watched that. I really have. Y'all, and that's what I'm saying. The business side of that, I do understand. I don't want to discount that because there's a whole thing that goes with that. And those of you who have businesses understand that as well. But it's like, oh my gosh, it's just, I would say it like this. If the initiatives were taken away so quickly, who's to say? Even let's just say we ignore any boycotts in protests, okay? And we say, you know, we're going to continue to just buy Black products, okay? Who's to say that the products won't be removed regardless? Think about that. Nothing surprises me at this point. Who's to say all Black products come off of the shelves? What if they walk in there one day and they put out a whole order to remove those products? All I'm saying is you're telling us to play this game. What is the game? Because at that point, things really do switch up. And then what is the backup plan? Is there a backup plan? We already see how things are going in less than 30 days. Black history not going to be recognized by federal agencies next month. Okay, so who's to say that it's a guarantee? All I'm saying is, Miss Tabitha, I don't know if it's a guarantee. I don't put my trust and my hope in man. Okay, Nita just said my confidence in the Lord. He's only going to allow so much. I believe it. I believe it. We will make great decisions to combat some of this. Yes. Okay. What if you are about to receive even better opportunities? I would love that. I definitely would love that. Tab's husband may have to come out of retirement. Okay, Antoine, I'm just saying. Okay, that's not funny, but hey, God is in charge, right? Hi, very inquisitive. Welcome. Thank you so much for joining today. Or allegedly biography, but I digress. Oh my goodness. What if so many of us have been working so hard to make your future better than you could ever imagine? You know what? God is the only one that can do that for me, Mrs. X, and He will. I see racism in my job daily, but I can't quit my job. Right. Okay. Hello. I'll continue to think positive about this. Yes. And like I said, I'm not taking away that she made some great points. Okay. I'm just saying also we have to think. She said, don't give them what they want. What do they want? Answer that question first. Because if someone can answer that question, what do they want? Then I can probably kind of move forward in my thinking because I have a growth mindset. I like to listen to various perspectives. Okay. Everybody doesn't have to agree with me. What do they want? I think she's having a conversation with the wrong people. Like, start with the ones removing the initiatives. Let's start there to see if you can explain to them why it's important to have that and coming from a Black business. Have that conversation with them. We want to support you. Something bigger behind this that just hasn't been exposed yet. Buying just black owned products is outlandish. They bought from somewhere respectfully. Right. I don't know, Mrs. X, but it wouldn't surprise me if it happens. Yeah. Right. Hi, Catherine. Welcome. Thank you for joining. Yeah, girl, I don't either at this point. I don't either. But y'all, now 3 months ago, there was a situation with Darius Cooks. He was on a live, and someone, because he has been very successful in his business as well. You know, he's a chef, and I remember Darius, y'all, from a long time ago when he used to do those videos, and he would say, "Lord, make me skinny. I know you can do it." And we were tickled. You know, he used to do those videos all the time. And so eventually, you know, he talks about his weight loss surgeries. He's got very, you know, smaller. And he used to have a whole restaurant. Something went on with that. I'm not going to even get into all of that on this live. But he has been successful with his pans and his products, his cookbooks. You know, he comes live doing cooking shows. He's hosted events where people can buy tickets. They come to these Airbnbs and eat. There was some stuff going on with that allegedly as well, but I don't know. I'm not gonna get into that tussle there. And so he was answering a question from one of his lives, and someone was asking his opinion. Now, this was 3 months ago, about Tabitha Brown. And that's so ironic that sometimes when somebody's saying something, it may not be the time, that just may not be the season for their word to go out. But now, I want y'all to listen to some of the things he said. Now, this kind of goes with some of the things we've been saying, okay? And this was put out 3 months ago. Yeah, just start preparing and prepping now. I'm just saying, he has been proven not to be reputable. Well, Catherine, I'm sorry, sis, I know, but I'm talking about the business thing that he was talking about in this scenario. Okay, that's the part I want us to glean from this. Let's listen to his take on a way that Tabitha could possibly make more money.
Right, and like the new air fryer products. And I'm sure the person who asked the question didn't mean any harm by it, but knowing that I also manufacture my own air fryers and sell my own air fryers from my warehouse, I'm assuming that's where the question came from. Just a point of knowledge, right? Fine. So here I am, child, at my virtual kitchen table, talking to my people, having a conversation. And so I'm also openly gay. If you watched any of my restaurant reviews, you know this, right? I tend to use colorful language that is germane to mostly the LGBTQ experience, right? IA plus, whatever you want to call it. Sometimes what I'll do is I'll refer to something as a she, right? You've heard me do this all the time. She this, she that, her, you know, it could be, I don't know, a piece of fried chicken. I will refer to it as a, you know, as a she. Another thing that I often say is the word fool. I say it is in my everyday vernacular, right? Let's say you walk outside and it's cold outside. Oh, the weather's a fool, right? Oh, there's so much sun in my eye. Oh, the sun's a fool, right? Oh, this chicken needs more salt. The chicken is a fool, right? There you go. So people said that I called Tabitha Brown a fool. And I'm thinking to myself, because at first when they said it, I'm like, well, did I? Or what reason would I have had to call her a fool? I don't know the woman. We don't have a conversation. So how could I have just come up and called her a fool? So I had to go back and watch the video. And I'm like, oh, I was responding to a question about brand deals. And that's where the term came up from. So that's all there was. right? That's what the conversation was. But I'll go a step further and kind of tell you sort of what I meant by having this type of conversation. So here's what I meant by having this kind of a conversation, right? So I didn't even go back and rewatch what I had originally said in its completion because I know where my thought was coming from. Also, before I tell you what I meant, people go, "Did you see so and so's response? Did you see Tab's response?" I said, "No, I didn't see her response. First of all, I don't
Y'all are
follow
funny.
Tabitha Brown. I have nothing against Tabitha Brown at all. But I know I wouldn't have said anything, bad about the woman. So no, I'm not interested in a response because I never said anything to be rude or mean to begin with, right? What I was doing was having a conversation in my community with my people, and y'all took a soundbite and blew it up to more than what it had to be. So let's dig a little deeper. Let's take this opportunity and go a little deeper, and I will expound upon what I meant. So I do not know the specifics of whatever brand deal Tabitha Brown has. Don't know, don't even care. It's not even relevant to the conversation. What I do know is that if said person would have taken the idea to create products, the idea to put products on the market, coupled with what I know to be true about e-commerce, coupled with what I know to be true about converting sales on social media, she would have made more money. Now that's what I said, right? If a person owns the entire process,
Now, that's one thing that came up is the simple fact that some people were saying because, well, this morning we were having that conversation because she's built a name for herself. Her products have she's gained an audience, consumers, and so forth. Um, Now, I know she mentioned sometimes that takes a lot, to get somewhere to have host, to hold your products and packaging and things like that. And so he's talking about doing that where you're over everything, where more of your money comes to you. Because although if you buy those products, just say, I'm going to go buy only Tabitha Brown products, Target is still getting a cut. Even if, like when I sell my books on Amazon, they still get a cut. So some of that money, because they're, housing it, they're printing, they're packaging, sending it off, and all of that, they're still going to get a cut. So he's trying to explain the part about just if you have all of that yourself and you are, hosting that yourself. So he wanted her to sell her products like Jerome Jones. He sells his own. Hey, but you gotta see he makes his money though. Okay, he is not doing bad financially, so he was trying to explain that particular process.
not just uses their name, they would make more money. Now, who is even to say that this is what Tabitha Brown wants to do?
Right.
Right? Tabitha Brown may not be
You're
interested
welcome.
in owning her own Shopify store and pushing her own product across the. She may be perfectly fine with what she's doing. And if she's perfectly fine with that, there's no problem with this, right? All I'm saying, and all I said to the person who asked was that you could have generated a lot more money. Now, what I did was I created a company and some examples. Now, I did create Tab's company. We're going to call this the Very Good Company LLC as a point of illustration. And let's just say you had a conversation with, the team and the people and whoever else, and you say, okay, you know what we're going to do? We're going to come up with 5 products, really 10, but we're going to do 5 major products and 5 minor products. This is going to be our product suite. I imagine this is what any company does if they say they want to get into the business of manufacturing products. You say, okay, what do we want our products to look like? So you do 5 major, 5 minor. Why 5 major? Because you can make a lot of money off the major products. Why 5 minor? Because everybody doesn't have major money, right? And so you don't want to leave anybody out who may want to support your brand. So we create 5 products that are major. I called it a pressure cooker, a juicer, air fryer.
Now, as of last year, Darius Cook's net worth is $5 million. So I mean, sometimes we may not just agree on some stuff, Catherine said Jerome Jones is a black baker who sells his own mixers. He is a social media influencer who uses his platform to help boost his product. Oh, so you talking about a real? Oh my God, y'all gonna trip out. Okay. Y'all know who I thought you were talking about, Catherine. I thought you were talking about the character on Martin. I thought you were being funny. Oh my God. Oh. Okay. So wow. Now that is awesome. Oh my goodness. Oh, okay. That is a way to do it. And you know what? That's what I'm saying. Like she would have different outlets to promote. Her stuff sells out. Her products, as soon as they get to Target, they sell out. Okay. The clothes couldn't even stay long enough. Just like the Aaliyah Barbie doll, it's sold out. And I don't know why they didn't arrange to have that doll sold at various retailers. I'm still wondering about that. That's just, y'all know we love Aaliyah. Big box companies. Okay. Oh, okay. That's something to look into him. Oh my goodness. On that point, I agree. She could sell more of her own. It will only take time and money. Yes, exactly. Yes, I agree. That's what I'm saying. So he has some valid points. I get what y'all saying too. Yeah.
A stand mixer and a blender. Let's sell those for $65 a piece, right? Most you're gonna spend is $65 a product. Okay. And on the minors, I said, oh, let's call it, I don't know, let's do a seasoning blend for $29. We'll do, I don't know, a 5-pack seasoning blend for $29. We'll do 3 cookbooks, right? And then we'll do a kitchen towel set for $29. Everybody got $29 if you want to support. You know what I mean? Okay, cool. Now, I don't know how many followers she has. I think somebody said in the comments she has in excess of 4 million followers. Great. You have in excess of 4 million followers, not a big deal here. But she does have.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, people like Geico because it's just easy. Bundling, for example. You've got car insurance.
Likability. She does have viral content ability. So the reach is beyond 4 million people. She's a household name. You and I both know this. So what I said was, let's figure out a number that's manageable in terms of the number of orders. Let's just call it something. Let's call it 500,000. Is it possible for the very good company led by Tabitha Brown to generate 500,000 orders? It's easy, right? Yeah, absolutely. And we're calling this 500,000 in the course of a full year, so a 12-month rolling period, right? Okay, so the people who are going to support you will do so at your launch.
Yes, I do have a book called The Common Thread. And yes, it's sold through Amazon. That's what I told my husband. I said, hold up. I'm almost in a Tabitha Brown situation. But we already said Amazon. Okay, maybe y'all feel look, Amazon. Y'all go ahead and get some type of program so we'll feel justified in supporting y'all. Get a black something, incentive chart. I don't know. Get something. Okay, not just for blacks. Okay, but the underrepresented women. Okay. You know what, y'all? I just thought about something. What are they going to do with the different what do they call it? Is your business? Oh, y'all know what I'm talking about. Is it a woman business? What is that called? Is it a black business? And it's a different thing you apply for. And so that is something that you can have so that if people are looking, if you're a vendor, and that's one of the questions they ask, are you one of these types of businesses? What is that called? I wonder how is it about to go for that as well? Are they going to remove that? Oh, I'm gonna have to look for it while we listen to the rest of this. But yeah, I'm gonna drop my link too. If y'all are interested in purchasing my book called The Common Thread, okay, it is available in ebook and paperback version. It is a book of various testimonies of my life in different areas. And I showed throughout that book how God is the common thread throughout our lives, weaving the good things and the bad things together to allow it to form who we are and allow it to work for our good. And so I am going to also drop that link into the chat, but let's continue. But yeah, I'm going to look that up because that may be affected as well for business owners.
Right? Because you have different tiers of people. If you're building a business or you're building a brand or you're selling on social media, you have core support. Doesn't matter what you do. I have a new cell phone I'm offering. Cool, Darius, I trust you. I know you. I like you. I want it. I'm buying it. No big deal. Then you have some people that have like sort of they support, but they're sort of second level, second tier support. And what I mean by that is they'll go, yeah, I will support you, but I'm not gonna jump the moment you say it's on sale. I might wait a little bit because it's not that important to me or whatever the case may be. And then you have the third level of people who will definitely support, but only with a discount.
Is that
You know what I'm saying?
girl?
Or after they've seen it 4, 5, 6, 9 times, then they'll support. So I'm taking those 3 tiers of people and putting them into this population of 500,000, knowing that on launch, if she does this
Thank you, Nita, for the super sticker.
right, which means she ramps up, right? This is coming. This is coming. Let's do stuff online. Let's cook with it. Let's show you what's
Thank
coming.
you, sis.
So that you gear people to be excited about it, then cool. We can launch on launch day to 75,000 orders.
Okay, so they're worth
Now,
the same.
let's
Nita.
break out that 75,000 orders to average. Now, remember, our full population is 500,000. I'm only focused on 75,000 from our
I don't want to talk over it, but I wanted to highlight some of y'all's comments. Nita did say that she's also worth 5 million according to Google. So they're worth about the same. And thank you for that, Dreamy Girl. If you would like to purchase my book called The Common Thread, it is on Amazon in paperback and ebook version. Hi, Latricia. She said people might not like Darius, but I have to agree with him on this. Besides, he really has a really good marketing and money mentality. I actually purchased his items. Okay. Thank you, Latricia, for that. Okay. And that's what I'm saying. Like some stuff we can glean from people. Cause hey, look, I will be honest and say I have not reached my first million. Now, if it's some tips and things, if you're already there and I'm trying to get there, give me some tips. Let me glean at least from that part what I need to know. Okay, to hit my first million. Okay, so I'm just thinking of the business aspect side of that. But yeah, I do know it's other stuff, okay, that has transpired that a lot of people may have lost respect and things of that sort. Girl, you gotta promote that book. Yes, I am PM. I am. I fell off, last year. I was promoting it, then I kind of fell off because I started focusing more on my channel growth, but now I have to work both ends together. And so God gave me some other ideas and things of how to promote and so forth in person and things like that. So yes, definitely that. Mrs. X said, I believe all American companies will have the opportunity to grow and thrive if your product is good. Okay. Thank you, Mrs. X. I hope so. Latae said, I don't like that they ask for race on applications. Like what they got to do with anything Willis. Right. Okay. Good tips. We want them soaking it in. Right. Exactly. Entertainment you love. Like, give me some tips. Okay. I'm trying to get up there too. We have businesses, we have things we're trying to grow. If someone has a channel that is very successful, I have no problems gleaning from them some ideas and things that they have tried that may have been successful. Now, we don't necessarily have to copy people, but we can be inspired by people and try different things that will help our businesses and our channels. Thank you, Antoine, for the super sticker. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Tabitha just doesn't have any fraud attached to her name. You know what? Let's say somebody in here just got to be petty. Y'all silly.
A launch, I'll deal with the other 425 in 1 second. If I break out that 475,000 on my launch, and let's say half of these people buy high ticket items on average to a person, and half of them buy low ticket items to a person, you're looking at the average spend of $162.50 for my major products and $73 for my minor products. All right. If you do the math, and let's say you take 37,500 people buy my products and they spend $162.50 on my launch, that's $6.1 million. You take the other population, the other 37,000 that's going to support on my launch, but they're buying my minor products and they have an average spend of $73. That's $2.7 million. So on launch, I just generated $8.8 million in revenue in my business on launch. I don't know anybody who's going to sneeze and poo-poo off 8.8 million to their bottom line. Now, I did say we had a population of 500,000 people, but I've only dealt with 75,000. Where are the other 425,000? They're going to be buying throughout the course of the year. You don't just launch and go away. You launch, you create content, you use the product, you do live streams, you do sales, you do Black Friday, you do Cyber Monday. So we're making up the remainder of this 500,000 throughout the course of the year. So if we take the same logic and we deal with the 425,000 people, half of those people are going to spend major, half will spend minor. My major spend is $108 per person. My minor spend is $48 a person. The reason I know that my major spend at $108 is doable is because you spend that with me.
Did you click the, let me see.
I just came off of doing 2 flash sales last month and made $250,000. Had the average order in the cart, $243. So to say that your average order is 108 from somebody who is more popular than me, more well-known than me, and has more followers than me is a complete understatement. So if we deal with the $108 spend times 212,000 people, that's $23 million over the course of a year. If I take the other half of the population and do their lower spend at $48, that's $10.2 million a year. So we end up with 6.1 and 2.7 at launch and 23 million and 10.2 during our annual on year one. That's a total of $42 million.
Wow. Wow.
Did you know we match?
I know, right?
Okay.
Oh, no,
Now,
no.
wait a
I mean,
second.
we price match.
They got me wanting to start a business with some cookbooks. Okay, 42 million. Oh my goodness, you're speaking my language. Okay, Latte said, I like the idea that you said that it's okay to be inspired by what someone is putting on their channel. So when I do the Black History, you actually inspired that I used to do it. Oh, you actually inspired that I used to do it on Facebook. Oh, yeah. Girl, look, I do not own that. I'm hoping that a lot of people do it. Okay. Yes, that is so true. But I've seen some people just copy stuff. Like, no, and then they don't want to give people their credit. If you're going to copy or show something, give people a shout out, like thank you to this channel, or I heard from this channel that blah 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 blah. Like, don't just take it as your own. Like I'll always say that, like, oh, I was watching this other channel, and sometimes I forget the name, but if I know it, I'll say it. Something like that. But some people just take, for example, and I know this is a side note. One of my supporters, this is so weird. They commented on another channel. Somebody, and I guess we were kind of covering similar things. Somebody copied and pasted their comment under my video. And they said, I just commented this over on such and such channel. And they came and they just copied and pasted that person's comment. Like, why are we doing that? You don't have your own thoughts? I was done. I never knew people would do that. That is just super weird. Come up with your own thoughts. Yeah, the numbers sound good. Okay, he's speaking another language. Yes. Okay. Don't forget about us when you reach your million. I won't. Believe me, I won't. Absolutely. Some people will be scared to shout people out, right? Like, my thing is this. Everybody, you can have multiple content creators covering the same person, but everyone's personality is different. They hit different parts of that topic. Everybody not doing the same thing at the same time. They have their opinions. So you don't have to be afraid of someone else. If you got it, you got it. They're going to come back to you regardless. Okay? So, yeah, you don't have to be afraid. Oh, a whole nother language. Right. Okay. We getting up in the 42 minutes. I'm up here listening like, girl, okay, I'm feeling that. Tabitha, let's listen up now. Just in case.
That's all I said. Is that their opportunity here to generate and this is year one.
Year one.
Imagine what would happen if you doubled down and said, year 2, year 3, year 4, I'm going to advance from 10 products to 15, from 15 to 20. We can deal with all of the overhead, the capital costs, all of the processes. We can deal with that on the back end. I'm simply talking about what the revenue outlook looks like in a situation. And you're looking at a situation where you're 42 million your first year. If you just replicate what you did year one for the next 10 years, it's $500 million in sales.
Wow.
I'm not sure anybody who's going to sneeze at 1/2 of $1 billion in sales to their company. Yes,
Thank you,
I
Nita.
understand that Tabitha is doing fine. I understand that Tabitha is rich. I understand that she has made a name for herself. Two things could be true. I could still like
Right.
somebody,
What's that?
don't have an issue with somebody, and still talk about them at the same time. I have no issue with this woman whatsoever. I was answering a question in my community about brand deals and about the deal with about Target. And sure, I don't know what her deal is with Target, but I do know people who've had products in Target. In fact, I know an ex-friend of mine who had was under a contract in Target and needed to borrow $60,000 from me to fulfill their obligation, or else they would end up owing Target. Right. I know people who were in Walmart who are now no longer in Walmart because of the bad deals that come with the big box stores. Right. I know people. And again, this is different from putting your product in the store versus having them approach you to work with you. Completely understand that. Right. I'm not negating the fact that this woman is doing amazingly well. This conversation is not about how well she's doing. The conversation is about what I feel like is a missed opportunity and what I feel like is missed revenue. My job every day is to look at the landscape and see what's missing and then develop something around it. So naturally, looking at this, I said to myself, gosh, and again, I get it. This ain't what she want to do. It's fine if this is not what she want to do. She don't have to do it, but it's not that it shouldn't be to the point that we can't have a conversation about something without y'all thinking that somebody is hating. Right.
Right.
I'm blessed, and I mean extremely blessed to make multi-seven figures in my business year over year. You guys support me like nobody's business. When I come out with a new product, when I come out with something in the kitchen, a new cookbook, you guys are on top of it, buying them up left and right. I have nothing. And when I say nothing, I need you to hear me. I have no reason to be jealous of anybody when I recognize how well God's hand is over my life, right? I'm currently building a multi-million-dollar project, 10,000 miles.
So congrats to Darius. I wanted y'all to hear that part of the business side of that and how he was trying. This was 3 months ago, just kind of giving an alternative if needed, how she could generate even more income. So if it does not work, she already said she's under contract. He said someone he knows was under contract and borrowed 60G just to get out of the contract. Okay. So of course those things come up, but he laid that thing out, if it ever comes to that. But it was so ironic that this conversation happened 3 months ago and look where we are now. I remember you. Yes, exactly, Miss Jimmy. I did a live over it, not knowing what was about to happen. So, and he wasn't hating on her. Like some people put their own 2 cents into stuff. He wasn't hating on her. He was just saying, like, girl, you a fool for that because listen, what you could be doing, is this could be a way for you to get more money, and like he said, she may not want to do that, but it is an opportunity. Okay, a missed opportunity, like he said, but it also takes money, like Tabitha said, to get to that level. So maybe she's just trying to build right now and feels like, okay, I have to do this in the meantime, so like Peach Coffee. Okay. And Thorn, like we try to give ideas and things like that, and Thorn does not give us our props over here. But ma'am, we know a lot of that stuff you were not thinking about doing until we mentioned it. Okay, give us our kudos. over here. Oh my gosh, y'all. So that was mainly what I want to, talk about this DIE or DEI, sorry, initiatives being rolled back. It is affecting many people. And so Tabitha Brown has been wanting to speak up on it and how it affects her. But I also wanted to show that there was, give credit where credit is due. Okay, thank you. How Darius Cooks had provided an alternative, solution months prior. So then now maybe she'll listen to some of it. Who knows? Who knows? But yeah, I know I was gleaning a few little tips and so forth during that conversation. But that is all that I have for today. I am about to get ready for work. I thank you all so much for joining on today. Please make sure you hit the like. Let everyone know that we were live. They missed out, but they can watch the replay. Shout out to Miss Lisa for that super sticker. Nita and Antoine for those super stickers. I really appreciate that. And thank you, Nita, for purchasing my book. And anyone else that will purchase it, I will share it on my community wall if you all are interested. But I thank you all. Shout out to Entertainment You Love. Thank you so much. I appreciate you being here and supporting. Thank you, Miss Jimmy Jim. And I will see you all later. If you have not subscribed, consider subscribing. And don't forget to hit that bell because you never know when I'm going to go live. Thank you all. Y'all have a blessed day. Bye-bye.